Hey everybody, I just wanted to update you guys. We got the hot side and the cold side done, so we're going to be going over that in this video. So guys, I finally got the hot side, the cold side, and the downpipe at least mostly done. I'm going to show you guys that. I think I showed you the last time. I just got a simple loop from the turbo over into the intercooler. Then out I had to weld pretty much a 90 here. And then I have a coupler here, another 90 straight piece into the intake, and I've got a coupler there. I've got my blow-off valve. I need to get an O-ring for it. I did have my intake air temp ran into the intake tube last year. I'm gonna run it here and see how it does. A lot of people say this heat soaks. So I'm gonna see if my sensor just reads hot all the time, then I'll have to probably get a bung and move it up to the intake. But I did get the hot side done as well. See there, it's got that nice turbo smart gate. It's all wrapped. And this is an aluminum downpipe. So this is some 4-inch intercooler piping that I had. Most of it laying around. I had to order a few pieces, but a lot of places want like $50 for just the 90 degree of this stuff. I'm gonna see how this lasts. If it doesn't, then I guess I'll have to buy the $50 4-inch pieces from like Motion or whatever. But I did have a little mishap here. I ordered an aluminum reducer and it showed up as stainless, and it kind of tripped me out because I had all this stuff tacked together. I went to tack like this one here, and all of a sudden the whole thing just fell off. So aluminum doesn't weld to stainless. I got shipped a stainless one on accident, but no biggie. Got the new one here, got it all welded in place. I do have to still finish some fitting down here. As you can see, I actually cut into the firewall. So I had a little bit of room here. I'll turn the wheel and show you. That's on the inside. I had to cut that section out, and just for clearance wise. So when I turn the wheel, I've got a couple inches of clearance. Okay, that's fully turned. Now, as you can see, we got at least a couple fingers there. I think I'm gonna actually have to angle that pipe. You can see it's just tacked into place right now. I'm gonna have to angle it back a little bit to get it away from the wheel, because this wheel is actually not at ride height right now. So get a little bit closer. If it doesn't work that way, then I'll end up putting like a pipe in here and rolling it till the pipe's flat. But I really want to run the exhaust like this. This is how I had it last year. Gotta do a little trimming on that. So basically just bring it up so it's down away from the body, because it's pretty much touching the body right now. But yeah, I've got a lot of this set up. We're doing pretty good on our timeline. I think by the end of the month we'll have it able to start. Hopefully by my birthday in November we'll have a dyno date set and have it ready to shift through the gears and make power and all that jazz. But just wanted to give you guys a quick update, show you guys where the car is. Has been quite a bit of work in the last couple weeks, just getting the hot side, the cold side, miscellaneous stuff. Still have shifter issues. I haven't really touched it because I'm trying to make a lot of progress, and with the whole welding the cold side and stuff, I feel like I've been making a lot more progress than if the shifter doesn't work, then I'll just end up having to buy a new one or something. It's quite a weird issue, but it is what it is. So guys, I had planned to send the car to dyno with just the steering that it had on it. and I was going to fix it afterwards. And the more I thought about it, the car's already down. I had a bunch of mishaps with ordering the fuel system parts, which I'll tell you guys after this. So I had a bunch of time with no parts in hand, so I couldn't really progress on the car. So I started working on the ball joint arrangement that I'm having issues with. I think I showed you guys the last time. The Ackerman and stuff was way off. You can see how the lower ball joint and steering arm is kind of tapered in, and this is the old ball joint holder and arm off of it. You can see how the arm comes inward towards the center of the car. But without going into too much detail, what I need for it is to go outward, which is why I mocked this up. This isn't what I'm going to use, but it's just like a mock-up that my machinist can make a billet from. Unfortunately, this isn't a replaceable ball joint, so I had to kind of do a little research and source out a ball joint that was a serviceable or replaceable style. And what I ended up with was this K772 style Moog. This is actually a low friction ball joint for like dirt track guys. The reason why I went with that is the threads are higher on the side of the ball joint. My plan is here to have this all machined from a block of steel, have my pickup point out here obviously, and have this screw in from the bottom and then have a jam nut on top so it will hold weight on it, because I don't really trust just the threads. I'd like to use all, I don't really trust a 1/4 inch of these threads rather than using all of these threads, which should spread the load out. That's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to drop this stuff out to the machine shop. Like I said, this is just kind of like a mock-up, working mock-up to test theoretical Ackerman and bump steer and stuff like that, so I can measure the steering linkage angle and all that stuff and the lower control arm angle. That's what my plan is. I don't know how long it's going to take, but we're going to have a billet made, and I'm hoping to get a blueprint of these parts as well, so that I can give you guys the part numbers of what I use and a blueprint, so you can go to the machine shop if this is something you want to do. In all honesty, this is just a band-aid for me. Eventually I want this car to be a strut front end car, which will ditch quite a decent amount of weight off the front, which is what I'm going for. But for right now, without doing a ton of work and pulling the car all the way back apart, I just want the steering to be at least workable. This setup doesn't have perfect Ackerman, but it's really hard to have perfect Ackerman with a front steer setup with a short arm, because you can only go out so far and then you run into the brake rotor, which is the issue I was having. We're going to test it out. And like I said, it's going to be like a try at your own risk. A couple people have asked me to produce the arms. I'm not interested in it because it's a steering component, and that's kind of a thing. Like, if it happens to me, it's not that big of a deal. If I sell something and you crash your car, then, I'm sure you guys can understand. But so for my 4303, the weird thing is they recommend a -12 inlet. So what I assumed is that this fitting was a 10, and I went from a -12Y to a -10, and then I was going to do a -10 to a -10 here, but it's not. This is -8, the suction and pressure side. So it goes from 2 10s to a 12, down to a 10, down to an 8, from an 8 to a 10, up to just a 10 out. So hopefully this is good for like 900 or so. If not, then, I guess we'll have to add another pump or something. Whatever it's good for is probably what the car is going to make next year, because I'm truly tired of working on problem solving on this car. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys on the next video.